From the Frontier Communications Studio, this is Tonight Live. Tonight Live begins now.
A second leak at the same site of a water main break. This is knocking out water for about 25,000 customers. Crews are working to get everything fixed right now, but there's no timetable on when people won't need to boil their water. Good evening. I'm Dan Thorne. It's our top story tonight. Officials say the main break was fixed early this morning, but West Virginia American Water is still asking customers to limit all non-essential water use until told otherwise. Kanawha County Commission President Ken Carper is calling for the West Virginia Public Service Commission to conduct an investigation into what they call the, quote, lack of reliability and condition of infrastructure systems of our utility companies. Water distribution is still going on tonight. Here are a few places where you could get water. Andrew Jackson Middle School in Cross Lanes, Dunbar Plaza, West Virginia State University, Nitro High School, and the West Side Volunteer Fire Department. You will need to bring your own container so that you can get water. Well, we've had our team of reporters following this story since it broke. WOWK-13 News reporter Chelsea Spears is live now at the site with the latest in Dunbar. Chelsea, what can you tell us?
Yeah, right now crews are still working to try and fix this second water main break. They're working right now right behind me. Take a look at what I'm talking about here. Crews have been out here working for hours to try and get this fixed. Now, right now we're hearing water should be restored by midnight tonight. But again, it's been almost 2 days now without water. Earlier today, I talked with dozens of people in Cross Lanes who say they've bought a bunch of water bottles so they don't have to leave their homes before the water main break gets fixed. One woman I talked to said she's gone through 24 bottles in just 24 hours. Now that's a lot. They're saying they have to do everything from brushing their teeth to washing their hands with this bottled water. Some of them haven't been able to use their toilets, and of course they haven't been able to use the shower either. Have you been able to take showers?
No.
What's that been like?
Not real good.
Crews are hoping to get this water main break fixed by midnight tonight, but people like Michael say they might only make it another day before they have to go to a hotel and shower. Of course, we'll be continuing to keep you updated as we get more details on this. But for now, reporting for Tonight Live, I'm Chelsea Spears.
Chelsea, thank you. A judge rules prosecutors, including U.S. Attorney Booth Goodwin, do not face conflicts of interest in the chemical leak case. The judge denied a motion by ex-Freedom Industries officials Gary Southern and Dennis Farrell to have Goodwin's office recused. The two defendants argue that some prosecutors have conflicts because they were victims of the leak. The judge says he's confident in their prosecution. Last year's leak spurred a tap water ban for 300,000 people for days. That trial is slated for October. Tonight, a major win for the Affordable Care Act. The U.S. Supreme Court hands down a landmark decision upholding a key provision affecting thousands in West Virginia and Ohio. Today, in a 6-3 decision, the justices ruled federal subsidies must be available for people who need them, even if their state already offers money for insurance. The ruling does not affect those living in Kentucky, but it directly impacts those living in Ohio and West Virginia. Almost 26,000 West Virginians, like Colleen Anderson, are now no longer at risk of losing health insurance, which she tells us is a monumental victory.
It made such a huge difference in my life and in the way that I felt. I mean, all of a sudden, I had good insurance like rich people have.
The decision has provoked passionate reactions on both sides. Many unhappy with the ruling that say premiums have soared and people have lost their current plans ever since the Affordable Care Act went into effect.
What we've seen is individuals lose their choice, in many cases lose the plans that were best for themselves and their families, and now have the government controlling completely the very most important aspect of their lives, and that is the quality of life that is brought about through health care.
And the fight may not be over, although today's decision was the second time the court upheld the Affordable Care Act. Republican presidential hopefuls are promising to repeal it if they're elected. An illegal drug operation was discovered being run out of a motel room in Wetzel County, and now police have 3 suspects in custody, plus they've taken drugs and weapons into evidence. New Martinsville police and Wetzel and Tyler County deputies executed a warrant at the New Martinsville motel room. The first suspect they got has been arrested in a dozen different states. Police say that they found heroin, LSD, and a loaded weapon. It's justice served in a near-fatal shooting and robbery at a Kanawha City Foodland. Last August, suspects shot a clerk and took about $10,000. Police later caught 2 of the suspects who had fled to Florida. As of today, the accused shooter, John Proctor, is sentenced to 30 years in prison. Levi Lanham got 20 after pleading guilty to first-degree robbery. Talisa McCauley got 25 years, and Allison Proctor and Ricky Patterson will serve 6 months to 2 years at the Anthony Correctional Center. Thousands of young soccer players and their families are descending onto the Huntington metro area this weekend. From Maine to Virginia, more than 15,000 people from 15 different Mid-Atlantic state teams are here to play in the U.S. Youth Soccer Region 1 tournament. Many of the players are staying in Marshall University dorms. People at local Visitors Bureau say that those families will spend more than $15 million this weekend on food, lodging, gas, and shopping. But one teenage soccer player from the East Coast says that he's just having fun.
Well, actually, this is some of the best soccer that you will see in the country, and when you play with better players, you can't do anything but get better. So it's an exciting time for them to be playing with other kids from all over the country at this high level.
The competition begins tomorrow at 3 Metro Huntington soccer field sites and wraps up with the big final matchup next Tuesday. A well-known nonprofit organization in Mercer County is already off to a rough start. Its income is seeing a dramatic plunge. Officials from the Salvation Army in Princeton say they're in the middle of a summer funding crisis because of graduations, weddings, and vacation. Salvation Army officials say that their usual rate of donations dropped significantly.
If someone thinks their gift is small, it's not going to matter. They all matter. I want to emphasize that every gift matters.
Princeton Salvation Army officials say that you could donate by mail, dropping a gift off to the office, or with a credit card by calling 1-800-SAL-ARMY and specifying Princeton. 24 housing-related organizations from around West Virginia are coming together to discuss housing issues in the state. The West Virginia Housing Policy Groups meet with community leaders, developers, bankers, and more to talk about ways to fix the housing challenges in West Virginia. Some challenges in the state are dilapidated or substandard housing, housing for seniors, and housing funding.
The needs are not being met for different reasons. Funding, of course, is one of them. Legislative agendas are others, but we just see a lot of need, and we need to see what we can do to help make that easier to help our citizens.
And this is the second forum for West Virginia Policy Group, and they plan on holding more in the future. Dozens of men and women hit the streets of Steubenville with a message this morning. The Upper Ohio Valley Building and Construction Trades is working to promote the hiring of local workers for local jobs. The majority of the people rallying today are unemployed, and they say it's hard to get a job right now as they feel companies are hiring out-of-towners. High school educators from across the state are in Morgantown this week, already preparing for the upcoming school year. The Center for Professional Development is hosting its Advanced Placement Summer Institute at Morgantown High School. The workshop trains teachers who specialize in AP courses. Sessions include training for teachers with backgrounds in art, music, English, and math and science. The Summer Institute allows AP teachers to share and learn new strategies for classroom instruction and management. AP teachers must complete this program every 3 years, and their goal is to prepare teachers to present new challenges to students.
Research shows that if a student takes an advanced placement course in high school, that they are much more likely to complete college with a bachelor's degree in 4 years rather than 5 or 6, which is a trend that we're starting to see. So I see that teachers really want to help their students do well, and the fact that they're taking a week in the summer just shows their commitment to that student's success.
It is a commitment, but I think the commitment is worth it for the students. We want to promote our students to take AP classes, to really challenge themselves, to do better, and to go to college and get a degree.
All right, well, the sessions wrap up in Morgantown tomorrow, then resume at Capitol High School in Charleston, July 7th through the 10th. All right, coming up on Tonight Live, a new look for a major football field. We've got some more on some big improvements. Plus, an exciting announcement for people who love the outdoors. It involves camping, biking, and maybe a beer garden. More on the bike farm after the break.